Hi there, my name is Jake Sinkus, and my project right here is the following tool cart. I'll start by showing you kind of what is going on here. So we got a cart, it's 3 wheels. I got two 12-volt DC motors attached to the box here with little RC car wheels. I have my Bluetooth chip in the front. Inside of the box would just be, I didn't get good reception. And then I have a caster wheel here in the back that just swivels. This lid opens up. Hang on one second. Oh, sorry, I have a bum arm. So this lid opens up, put 2 hinges back here, and then inside is where the memory is. Right here, I have the Arduino being powered by an external phone charger. And then over here, I have a 3S LiPo battery that's powering my L298 stepper. Down here, right here, is my GPS module that is flashing red right now because it's powered on, and the flash means it's locked onto a GPS. Of course, when I say that, I think it stopped flashing. Nope, there it is. Okay. And then this one right here is my compass and magnometer, which is like the magnet of the system that records kind of where you are on Earth, north, south, east, west. It is how I control like my compass bearing. And then I have a little white LED in case you're working on it at night. We had one of my options was add an LED to this thing. So I decided to put one inside so you had a little bit of extra light. And then I have a little hinge for this thing to shut. How this works is from my phone, and I'll show you here. I had created an app, and it has a Bluetooth where I showed you the chip, and then it has this GPS, which the Bluetooth sends the signal, and the GPS signal gets carried through here. So when I press play, it'll actually update every 1,000 milliseconds is what I have it set to. It'll update my coordinates constantly. And then I have this switch, which just turns it on and off. And then I put a terminal in here, which I can write things to the serial monitor when it's plugged in, obviously. And then if I really wanted to, I can code a waypoint mode, which are where I can put like my coordinates in, and then it'll drive to me. I didn't do that, so the terminal kind of is useless here unless I want to write some stuff, because I don't have a big enough parking lot near me that's empty to even test that out. If it's following me, that's fine, but with how exact with the GPS, it's really hard to like put a waypoint in and have it go there without running into a curb or grass, or it's not very off-road worthy. So anyways, it hooks up through the app to the GPS, and then with that signal, I run through, and I'll have my code in my report, obviously, but it runs through this code, and you can see here, my serial monitor, I have, let's go to the top really quick. So it receives the GPS from the remote, and then it reads the GPS on the app, and then see how it does it constantly. And then once it's moving, it clocks its distance. It tells you the bearing it has, and the heading is how far off of true north that it's faced. So like right here, when I was running this one, it was negative 60 degrees, and that's off of 360. So, and then steer A and steer B are the offsetted steer to fault, like that's how it follows you. It slows down one motor or adds speed to the other one, and tells, that's basically how this thing steers. And then it just constantly goes through that on the serial monitor. Now, when I have it obviously not hooked up to my computer, it doesn't really do that because I would need my computer with me. But here's my code, and I will make this bigger. But basically, I have, this is where my app, the app is called Blink, and this is how, this basically tells Arduino, hey, this is the exact app he made, and here is his like password, so to speak. All my definitions for my pins. I had to look up an angle of where we are at in Colorado and where I'm at. It's called the declination angle. There's actually just a website. So you type in where you're at and it'll give that to you. Put that in there. And then this is my interval of how much the GPS updates. And then if for some reason it loses GPS signal, my timeout is 18 and basically shuts off the device when if there is a problem, so the thing just doesn't keep driving. Granted, it does go pretty slow and I pick it up, but it's kind of a cool little thing I have in there. All my libraries, which all my chips are like Adafruit chips, and they're all pretty compatible with Arduino, and there's a lot of libraries and GitHub pages to help them. Have my app setups here, and then here's my kill switch, and then here's my GPS, and this is just basically telling it on my serial monitor, I'm going to type out the GPS with 7 decimal points for latitude and longitude, and take my phone and basically plug it in to drive to that. If going, all these are just kind of the libraries, like this is the library for the compass, and I basically just had to like copy and paste all the libraries for the chips and then tweak them to call out this individual thing. So most of this code is library stuff. And then you get down here, here's where I calculate, I like take it all, calculate from radians into degrees so we can read it. And then here is where the motors turn on and off, and where they actually will slow down, or like how they'll churn. I have this drive function that basically will take the speed, and then there's just an if statement. If it copies all these, it mocks that, and then it'll find you, and then wherever you're at, it'll run through this and tweak itself to work correctly with following you, so to speak. And then this is just more setting up my serial monitor so I can correctly make sure all my data, this is how I made sure like my compass was working, my GPS was working, and like the correct distance was being like monitored. Make sure all my motors are set to all my pins. And this is just a test drive function I have in here. And then in the loop, all you put in the loop is the app to turn on, and it's all from there. So if I go back to the code a little bit, I can show you all my pins for my motor driver are all pulse width pins. And then from my GPS, I actually had to use 2 analog pins because it's I to C. So if you see here where it's blue and green, those are plugged in from there, and then they plug in, oh, not my GPS, sorry, my compass is I to C. So that's how it reads that. And then, yeah, built this box out of fiberboard, basically. Nailed it all together, spray painted it gold to look good. And then I put a little undercoating on. Okay, here's the product moving. I'm gonna connect to my Bluetooth. Press connect. Should say connected. Yep, okay, good. Okay. Then I'm gonna press play. See how my GPS updated. This is kind of where I live. And then if I press the on button and start slowly walking away, it will follow me. And this is all done through this app. Okay, see, I stopped walking, so now it's stopped. And there you go.